What's going on, guys, and welcome back to another episode of my Next Gen Career Mode. This is episode number 123, and we start today's episode off with a squad report and also a look at the league table as well. And before I get into the commentary on today's episode, I do want to address some comments I've been getting of late. Yes, I know this series is getting stale. Yes, I know it's repetitive. Yes, I know it's not as enjoyable and entertaining as it used to be, but I think, as I've addressed this before, I think you need to appreciate that FIFA 15 is out in a week, and by the time this video goes up, probably a week and 2 days. So yeah, like I get it, I really do. I understand you may not be enjoying this series as much. I understand you'd much rather see FIFA 15 content, but you know, there isn't really much I can do about that. So I am sorry that the series is getting stale for most of you. I do apologise for that. Again, as I always say, you don't have to watch every episode. I know when I do long career modes and long series, because that's usually my type of channel series, I like to make the series as long as possible. I know that most people try and watch as many episodes as possible, because obviously that way they can keep up to date with the series. As you can see, look at league table here with just 9 games to go. We are 8 points in front of Borussia Dortmund and 10 points clear of third place Bayern Munich. I know most people want to watch every episode so they can keep up to date and make sure I don't miss anything that could be key. But as I said, you don't have to watch all the episodes if you don't want to. That's totally fine. And again, if it's not enjoyable for you, then don't watch. Feel free to just stop watching the series. You know, that's totally fine. So yeah, I get it. I really do. And it's just to address some of the comments. I know not everyone thinks that. I know not everyone says that. But I have seen more and more comments of late from people saying, you know, it's not as enjoyable, it's a bit repetitive now, it's a bit stale. Again, there isn't really anything I can do, so sorry about that. But you know, you guys are excited for FIFA 15, so am I. I'm going to keep on doing this series until this season ends, then the series will stop, and then hopefully by then FIFA 15 will be just around the corner. Now we can get straight on with a new career mode. But anyway, we take on Wolfsburg here for the first game of today's episode, and Wolfsburg, a side who I've said before, I'm always pleasantly surprised, I guess seems a little bit harsh, but I guess I am in a way. I guess I'm pleasantly surprised to see that Wolfsburg never really do as well as I would expect them to do. You saw their lineup a minute ago. It's a really decent side. They've brought some great players in this career mode, and they've already, you know, they've added to the great young players they had at the side already, such as Malanda, you know, players like that. As you can see, Malanda's there. You know, they brought some good young players like Brooks off us, and obviously Force is a good goalkeeper too. They brought some good players, but they've never really done too well, and I don't really know why that is. This year they've done a little bit better. They're sitting in, I think it's 4th place this season, doing a little bit better. But even so, that couldn't stop them from, well, they couldn't stop us from scoring the first goal of the game. Our captain Ginter rising highest from this corner and heading it past the English goalkeeper Fraser Forster. The former Celtic man cannot keep it out, and Ginter makes it 1-0. So good header by our captain there, who, you know, I would love to stay on and carry on with this series, because at the age he's at right now is early to mid-20s, coming into his mid-20s soon. You know, I would love for him to get 90, and I think you probably could. You know, I know that's probably, you know, well, I'm pretty sure 90 isn't his potential at all, but you know, with the development Ginter's had, especially at this club, has been just unbelievable, and it'd be great to carry on using Ginter, really would. But still, it is Ginter, our captain, who makes it 1-0, and in the 36th minute, Sydney Sam collects the ball here. Quickly Ronaldo chop to give it to Flume. Flume then out wide to Goretzka. Goretzka then roulettes around his man, keeps on going down his left-hand side, little step over and a free ball to Schultz. And how about this for a cross by Nico Schultz to pick out Lasogga, who picks out the bottom corner, makes it 2-0. And you know, I said again before, you know, Schultz as a player, I'm so glad this guy is now a first team player, because you know, he started off a first team player, then bench, then reserve, and now all the way back up to first team as an 80 or possibly 81 rated left back now. He's so good. He is so good. Like his pace is fantastic, and his range of crossing is brilliant as well. He's such an underrated player in this side. You know, an 81 or 80, it's either 80 or 81. By the time I'm doing this commentary, he's an 81 anyway. He's so good, and his crossing is really underrated. He's a really awesome left back for us, and of course he's been at the club since we started here. So his assist for Lasogga's goal made it 2-0, and you saw Royce have a good attempt there, but Fraser Forster made a good save to make sure that Wolfsburg would not be 3-0 down at half time. And in the second half, in the 63rd minute here, Wolfsburg get the ball away, and Kroos strikes from just outside the area, but it goes just wide and out for a goal kick. And well, unfortunately, it's been a long time really since I've struggled, and I've made a big mistake when trying to pass out from the back, but I did this time. It's a mistake by Manuel Neuer, but of course it's my fault. I'll be honest though, it was a heavy touch by Neuer, as you can see there. It's a pretty poor first touch for a goalkeeper that has such good kicking, but it's still my fault. I tried to pass it to the right back instead. I didn't direct it far wide enough, and it was going to go to Hummels, but it was intercepted, and of course Wolfsburg put it into the empty net. So Wolfsburg 1, Hertha Berlin 2, and again, I do pass out from the back all the time, and it's been a very, very long time since I made a mistake, but like I said, it does happen sometimes, and that's what happens, and that's what happened there. So Wolfsburg back in the game, but directly from kickoff we responded and got our 2-goal cushion back. We just went up the pitch, played it through to our right back, Jerome Boateng, gets his second goal of the season, and it's a really simple one, but it just shows how good this side is in terms of attacking quality. You know, it really does. Well, when a right back scoring, of course it does, but it just shows how good it is. I mean, we just conceded and we're back with a 2-goal cushion again. So Wolfsburg 1, Hertha Berlin 3, and in the 86th minute here, Sidney Sam collects the ball, gets around his man, shoots from range, but it's a good save by Fraser Forster, and it's tipped over the bar for a corner. And the last chance would fall here in stoppage time as Hummels heads the ball onto Kevin Volland, who fake shots around his man, step overs to get around another, gets himself onto his left foot, keeps on going. Nice piece of skill, wonderful run by Volland, but again Forster denies us from scoring a 4th goal, and the score does finish at 3-1. So a 3-1 victory against Wolfsburg, and you would have seen as well there was some blurring in the game, or I might try and just blur the stadium out actually towards the end because there's a lot of copyright issues I'm getting right now. But yeah, anyway, we won the game 3-1, and again a very, very good performance. We totally deserved the win. The goal was so frustrating. Again, it was my fault, but I was still disappointed at how poor Neuer's first touch was. You'd expect a little bit better there for a goalkeeper who's so good with his feet, but still it was my fault, and we lost the game 3-1. And the second and final game would be against Mainz here at the Olympiastadion. So trying to get ourselves, well, you know, the last aim of this series is to have an unbeaten season. We haven't had that yet, an unbeaten league season, haven't had that yet, and with 8 games to go, it's looking increasingly likely. You know, it's looking very, very likely we'll be able to do that. We've got most of the big sides out of the way as well, so, you know, no disrespect to teams like Mainz, but we shouldn't really be, you know, losing these games, especially not at home. So, you know, I wouldn't say we're on the home straight now in terms of completing the last objective of the series, but I'm definitely fancying our chances now that we could possibly pull this off. But anyway, the first chance this game fell in the 11th minute as Andre Schürrle went on a run here, but René Adler made a really good save for Mainz and they got the ball away. And in the 24th minute, had a free kick. Neuer stands over it, whips it into a dangerous area. Royce can't win the header. It's cleared away as far as Ginter, who gives it to Goretzka, who shoots it on the half volley, but René Adler makes another good save and keeps it at 0-0. So hoping to not only get a clean sheet in this game, something we failed to do against Wolfsburg, but also win this game by a couple more goals, because, you know, 3-1 was a good result against Wolfsburg, but again, as I said in that game, you know, the amount of attacking quality we have, we should be able to score a lot of goals. But we did rest a large amount of players in this game as well, as you would have noticed by the team selection. The reason being is because we had a Champions League game in midweek, and as you can see here, we actually won a penalty in the 31st minute. It was Kevin Volland, who's such a reliable player, who won us the penalty off the man wearing the skull cap there. He roulettes around him and he gets tripped up, and it's a definite penalty. So penalty to Hertha Berlin, and Manuel Neuer so far has a 100% record from the spot. He scored both of the penalties he had to take this season. Could he make it 3 out of 3 from 12 yards? It's Neuer against Adler, and Neuer comes out on top. I was actually quite fortunate there because I didn't actually have the power right in the green, and I thought if I stutter I might make it a little bit better, so a little bit more accurate. Otherwise the power could just possibly blaze the ball wide of the post. So I quickly stuttered, tried to put the stick back into the centre, and thankfully it worked. But it was like, you know, I tried to put it in the bottom corner, and then I thought because I wasn't really in the green it might go wide, so I quickly stuttered, tried to direct the the left stick back to the right, and put it towards the centre, and thankfully it didn't go all the way to the centre, otherwise Adler would have just caught the ball quite simply. But even so, I'm just loving Manuel Neuer at the moment, you know, I really am. It's just amazing. I mean, you guys know how much I love the guy, but it's just so funny to watch him score penalties, get assists as well. And I guess this episode was just like the curious case of Manuel Neuer. You know, I'm paying homage to how good his kicking is by letting him take free kicks and penalties. And in the first game, it was some poor footwork that cost us the goal that Wolfsburg scored. But even so, it's 1-0. It was my fault in the last game, I've already said that, but even so, it's 1-0 here. And in the 41st minute, Mainz had a really good chance here after Adler made another good save. And as Polter collects the ball for them, it's some poor marking by me with Goretzka. Hooverdes doesn't stick tight enough to Koo in the centre, and Koo, who always seems to do well against me, makes it 1 apiece. So I said earlier, you know, this is the game where we should be scoring a few goals and keeping a clean sheet, and instead it's 1 apiece, and Mainz are back on level terms, and they levelled the score before half time. That's how the first half finished. And in the second half we tried to start brightly, but again René Adler, who was proven to be a real spanner in the works, made a good save and kept it at 1 apiece. And in the 62nd minute we had a corner here. Serge Gnabry stands over it, swings it into the centre, and Hooverdes gets his first goal for the club, heads it past René Adler and makes it 2-1. So glad to see him get his first goal for the club. I brought him in to defend, but it's still good to see him score, and it's 2-1. And stoppage time here in the 90th minute. The game was being closed out, but we had a great chance to make it 3-1. Serge Gnabry beats 2 defenders, goes through 1-on-1. Great opportunity, but again René Adler makes a great save. So 2-1 the final score. We get the win. Disappointed really. We should have scored more goals. We should have got a clean sheet, but at least we won, and we are so close to completing that last aim of the series. So as always guys, a big thank you for watching the video. I really hope you have enjoyed it. If you have enjoyed the episode, please leave a like, and I'll see you for the next episode on my next gen career mode very soon.